I watch a new film every other day, follow along for recommendations and reviews. Today, I just finished watching the movie Trending Lies that is showing on Biodun Stephen TV. And you guys, this is my least favorite Biodun Stephen TV film that we've watched on the film club so far. You know, the thing is, when I was watching this film, and I'm very curious to know what you guys think about it, so please let me know your very honest thoughts as we always do on this club. When I was watching it, there were moments that I was like, I wish that this is Biodun Stephen TV. Just because the film was going, and I was like, okay. And then by the end, I was like, okay, now Biodun, this film exists for the ending. The ending is by far the best part of it. However, let me even, because I wrote some timestamps for you to show you like why I was like, this film, for example, for the first 32 minutes, there is no conflict. So the couple in this film, Kiyo and Fubara, they meet Kiyo's mother 32 minutes into this film. And that is where like the first conflict arises in the whole film. So for this first 32 minutes, you're basically just watching, I guess, their love story. And if you're watching it, I don't know, let me know what you guys thought. Because that first 32 minutes, you could just be like, okay, so because without conflict in the story, really, like it's not that interesting. Like, yeah, you can watch people be falling in love, but especially because they're not even like falling in love, they've already kind of like falling in love. So they're kind of just like doing this for 32 minutes before conflict. Oh, it was. And then when that happens, right? I'm not trying to give this to the non-spoiler section. When it happens, the first conflict with the parents, and then to like where the final like twist happens, I'm just curious to know what you guys thought. This film really existed for the end. You can see that they had that idea for the ending and they were like, no, that's going to be very gaggy, very surprising. They're going to really lose their minds. But then the lead up to it was like, it was all right. And we'll talk more with spoilers because I have a lot of things to say in the spoiler section. I have notes. So get ready for that. The other thing I want to say about this film is that when I posted the teaser yesterday, like the poster, of course, my sister messaged me because I was in church. I posted that and I went to church. My sister was like, this was the Stephen film. Did they really kiss? So I'm so uncomfortable watching it with my mother-in-law. And I was like, the other Stephen, did they kiss like that, like that? I was surprised, but there's kissing in this film. So know that the acting, this is my first time seeing Ekama. I've heard of that name a lot. And she did very well in this. Like, good actress. Fantastic work she did. Also, like Dappa killed it. Even the mother of Kiyo's mother did well. The people that were like the podcast hosts, those two of them, those acting kind of took me out. I think maybe they are not really like actors, but if they are, I don't know. But their acting took me out the most. You get as it is. Overall, this film, as I told you, for me, the best part was the ending, the twist. But till then, we will talk more in spoilers. So for those of us who have watched this film, I wait to come and talk about it now with me with spoilers. Then spoilers ahead so we can gist well in 3, 2, 1. Let us go. Right now we're in the spoiler section. Please, if you're going to write a comment that has spoilers, just write spoiler alert before you write your comment so that we don't spoil for people that have not yet watched it. All right, let's start this thing. The first thing I'll talk about is so random, but every time that they showed Fubara's character on her phone tweeting, and then they will show the graphic of a mouse, like a laptop mouse, clicking the tweet. It was taking me out because she's on her phone. You're not going to be clicking with a mouse. That was funny. Then I want to talk about Kiyo's father. The way that Kiyo's father just never supported his mother, even when, for example, the mother is not giving her blessings to their marriage, and Kiyo says to her, whether you give your blessings or not, I'm going ahead with my plans. Okay. The way he says it is so like, I thought the father would be like, don't talk like that. That's your mother. I will talk to her like, but be respectful or something. The father is just like, you go ahead with your plans and I'll talk to your mother. I was like, he didn't. This woman will be having her feelings or like, I feel this way. And the father was just very like, that one concern you, madam. I was like, this man even love his wife. Like, the relationship was so odd to me. As I was telling you guys in the non-spoiler section, this confrontation of like the parents and all of that happens like over 30 minutes into the film. So after this point, right, the film now kind of like patters until she now finds out that she's pregnant because between there and that moment of confrontation and that pregnancy, it's just kind of okay. And then we get to the pregnancy where it's like the next major conflict. What I want to talk about with that pregnancy is that even myself, I was confused because on screen we don't really see them consummate their marriage, and we know that he was waiting till marriage. So when the baby she's now pregnant, and the mother is like, that's not your child. I don't think it's your child. Especially when Kyo starts believing it, because he believes his mother very quickly after the mother tells him on the phone. And that's when he's like, switch happens. And then he calls her, and then they have that conversation where he says that she was shouting and he doesn't like confrontation or whatever. But from that moment, he already kind of believes his mother. And I was like, but wait, why do you believe it so easily? Like, did you never consummate your marriage? Is it like, is she Mother Mary? Like, what is going on? So when the mother then says, you mentioned to me that you saw stains on your wedding night, which means she was on her cycle. I was like, okay, so they did consummate the marriage. So, okay, why are you so quick to just not believe that this is your child? Like, what is going on? And then there's a conversation that he has with his parents, right? And at the beginning of that call, he's kind of saying, "Oh, I don't like confrontation. That is why I'm not really talking to my wife right now." She started shouting when I asked her, and it was kind of weird. I don't like confrontation. You know how I am. I'm like, okay. And then he's now asking the mother, "Why do you think that this baby is not mine?" I'm like, "So you, Kyo, why do you think it? Is it only just because your mother thinks it?" And then when the mother now talks later in that same conversation, he now says, "That's not even what's bothering me. What's bothering me is that she's alone and pregnant." I was like, okay, I hope not, I hope say this not be bipolar. I hope say this not be two-faced. Because what is your issue then? Is it that like she was angry when you confronted her, or do you actually care? That, like, I was like, okay, even on that call, I was like, why you, Kyo? Why are you so? Because you consummated your marriage. So what is? Do you know what I'm talking about? You guys, like, tell me what you thought, please. I was so like, why is he just taking his mother's word? Like, oh, my mother never lies. Okay, but you did what you did with your wife. I was so confused. Then I also want to talk about his behavior, because him ignoring his wife for days and basically just being like, "Oh, because I didn't like that when I give you my accusation, you reacted to it." Because even if you're questioning me, your questioning is like very accusatory. You're now giving this girl grief for like reacting. Are you crazy? And then when he now even asks her for like a DNA test, I'm like, Oga, like, even if you're worried because of what your mother has told you, there are ways to go about this. And the way he handled this was so poor, so poor. At this point, watching the film, I'm like, wait, what is the head and tail of this film? Is the head and tail of this film like, don't marry a mama's boy? But he was not really a mama's boy, because before they got married, he really stood up to his mother. Is it okay? Maybe don't rush into a marriage with somebody you don't really know that well. But they kind of like were really talking, and they really got on till the marriage. The switch on him once his mother told him that this baby is not his was so immediate that I was like, what kind of day and night was this? Eventually, when Biodun's character is like, the girl should do, Fubara should do DNA test. I'm like, yeah, I think Fubara, go and do this DNA test. And when the DNA test now happens, the result comes out, and as with the father the first time, Kyo's father, and then I said that nobody picking. I said, so girl, wetin go happen now? That is Fubara. I been a mother Mary. Wetin be this? So when later the real test is now done with Kiyo, I will now find out that now the mama will go sleep with her ex. I said, Madam, so what is your, you don't open your own yash in all of this madness. Like, what a mess. That's why I said that the ending was really the payoff. The ending of that, like, waiting to happen at the picking. Now, whose child is this? That whole ending was really the cocoa of this film, and that was the best part of the film for me as well. Ultimately, I guess Fubara takes him back, but Omokio was not the man that, he handled this so poorly, so poorly. And then the mama now don't open her ash because of this, and then the film ends. Ultimately, as I said, this is like my least favorite Biodun Stephen film that I've watched on her channel on this club. I'm very curious to know what you guys thought about it. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Also, if you've watched this whole video and you have no idea who I am, my name is VDK. I'm the curator of the VDK Film Club, where every other day we watch something new and we just about it like we've done today. Follow along. All right. Until the next film that I watch and the next video that I make, have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.